5 nails sealed him for 1,000 years, and anyone who touched him would be cursed to death. Yet I effortlessly pulled out the nails that had sealed him and gently said, "From now on, I won't let you suffer anymore." The girl stood there dumbfounded, murmuring, "Grandma, I finally waited for her." I was originally a mental patient who, by coincidence, was recruited by the Soul Suppression Department as a tool to lure vengeful spirits. On my first day on the job, I encountered a strange girl. She wore tattered clothes and held a teddy bear in her hands. I opened the door, curiously looking around, and asked her, "Why are you alone? Where are the adults?" She didn't speak, but gently shook her head. She seemed a little slow, so I bent down and asked, "What are you doing here in the middle of the night?" The girl held up her teddy bear and softly said, "Big brother, come play with me." When I saw the teddy bear, already decayed and dripping with black blood, I instinctively slapped it away. The girl seemed startled, but then she suddenly displayed an incredible strength. I quickly pulled her into the house and said, "What's so fun about a doll? Big brother has something much better." The members of the Soul Suppression Department were shocked by my behavior. Their instruments detected that the girl was a vengeful spirit that had harbored resentment for at least 1,000 years. If I angered her further, everyone in the house would probably die with me. Unfazed by this, I suddenly reached into my pocket, and everyone froze in fear, regretting ever bringing me back to the department. But the next moment, I pulled out a music box and said to the girl, "This thing spins and glows. Wanna see?" "It's so fun," I said, but the girl showed no interest in the music box. She glared at me fiercely, as if she wanted to tear me apart. I ignored her hostility and picked her up with both hands. That's when I noticed the iron nails in her chest. Curious, I asked her, "What are those for?" The girl looked a little downcast and replied, "These nails are a curse. There are 5 more that are used to seal my movements." After hearing this, I felt angry and asked, "Who would do something so cruel?" She lowered her head and muttered softly, "It was my mom and dad, but they're already dead." A chill ran through my heart. What exactly had she gone through? Those nails must have caused her so much pain over the years. Looking at her, I said gently, "Let me help you pull them out." She looked down at her chest and replied slowly, "It's been 1,000 years. They can't be removed." I didn't believe her. Stretching out one hand, I tried to pull one of the nails, but it didn't budge an inch. At that moment, the chief of the Soul Suppression Department said to me, "Don't waste your energy. Those are the 5-element soul-sealing nails, rooted deep into her soul. Ordinary people can't remove them." Before he could finish speaking, I pushed the girl down and grabbed the nails with both hands. With a strong pull, one of the nails was instantly removed. Everyone around me was stunned, shouting, "How is this possible? The 5-element soul-sealing nails are a spiritual artifact created by a heavenly master's powerful seal. How could a mere boy from a mental hospital remove them so easily?" Suddenly, a surge of ghostly energy erupted. The girl transformed into a horrifying figure, as if she had emerged straight from the depths of hell. The ghostly energy blasted me back, sending me flying. Before I could react, she lunged at me like a mindless corpse, her movements eerily swift and fierce. The next moment, I grabbed her hand, in one swift motion, pulled out all the nails from her hands and legs. The people from the Soul Suppression Department cowered in the corners, not daring to make a sound. At that moment, a spirit possessing the girl cursed me for being foolish, saying, "The girl's soul seal has been completely undone. She will immediately transform into a calamity, and everyone in this room will perish. No one will survive." Just as those words ended, a torrent of ghostly energy erupted. Being the closest to the girl, my body was flung uncontrollably through the air, crashing through the glass window and falling outside. I thought to myself, "Looks like this is the end for me." But in the next moment, a flash of blood-red light appeared. A small, ghostly hand, surrounded by wailing energy, suddenly grabbed me. It was the girl, still in her demonic form. "What's going on?" She slowly lifted me back inside. The chief of the Soul Suppression Department quickly approached and asked if I was hurt. I raised a finger and said, "Just a scratch. I only cut my finger." At this moment, the girl, who had been silently gazing at the music box, softly murmured, "A long time ago, Grandma told me that if a ghost and a human want to stay together without affecting his aura, the only way is to form a ghost contract." She then slowly walked toward me, knelt in front of me, and said, "Big brother, I will follow you from now on. I will never regret forming this contract." Suddenly, she grabbed my wounded hand, raised it, and touched her forehead with my bleeding finger. The instant we made contact, the endless resentment dissipated, and I felt a strange sensation stirring within me. Moments later, a young, fragile girl, no longer demonic, stood before me, her appearance evoking a deep sense of pity and tenderness.